You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's American Horror Story After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's American Horror Story After Show.
This is quite the intro. Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing an AfterBuzz TV after show for your favorite show, American Horror Story. This is American Horror Story Coven. It's the season 3 premiere. We are so excited to be here. Yay! I'm your host for the evening, Anna Koppel, and here with me are my two lovely ho-hosts.
I am Jillian Leff.
And my name is Oriana Leo.
So welcome. So I don't know about you, the sort of universal you, but for me, this was a lot to take in.
I totally agree.
It's a lot of information.
It's so much bitchcraft.
It's so much
So
bitchcraft.
much.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was the title of the episode this evening. It's bitchcraft. So we start in New Orleans in 1834,
We do.
and Kathy Bates. Hello.
Haven't seen her in a while.
Haven't seen her in a while, and I think she's never been better.
I totally agree.
Yeah, we've got blood on the face. And I don't know, maybe you ladies can fill in this gap for me, but I know that she has 3 daughters, but I didn't quite get all of their names. Did you happen to catch
I'll
that?
volunteer. This
Go
is
for it.
Oriana speaking.
Go for it.
So she has Jean and Pauline and then Borquita. And Borquita is the one that likes to get frisky with the hoe.
She's a bit of a coquette, if you speak
Yeah.
French.
She
She was the one that said maybe her talent that has yet to be revealed was that she was good in the bedroom.
Yeah, in the boudoir.
In the boudoir.
mother.
So those were her 3 daughters, and we know that her name is Madame Delphine Lalaurie, and she's based on a true character, a true historical person.
Oh, who?
Madame Delphine
his name?
Lalaurie.
Oh, that was a real person.
It was a real person, and that it's got the twist, of course, the American Horror Story twist on it, but that apparently, I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I did read an article in Rolling Stone that Kathy Bates just spoke about how this character really brought her alive. So I think
Wow, I
we're
like that.
seeing her performance because she was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. So after all of that, she got to do this performance, and it really kind of...
Well, dang, she's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, she really is. Well, I'm going to have to go home and, I guess, learn history. I have to read a book, I guess.
I would say read the Rolling Stone article because she gives you all the information that you need. Pretty much says based on a true character, and that there were about 70 bodies found on this property.
Oh, wow.
But after that information, you can't really know. It's all legend.
Okay.
Well, basically, we get a window into what she does to her slaves because one of her daughters sleeps with one of them.
Right.
And we see her torture chamber upstairs, and it freaked me out.
Yeah,
Totally.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Not just that, but her amusement of putting the bull on Bastien, who turns out to be an important character.
She says that she's always wanted a minotaur, that her studies began in Greek mythology, and she's always wanted a half man, half bull. Now she has one all her own.
How sick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that once one starts, first of all, when you're living in a society where you own humans and treat them as less than human, it might be okay in your mind to perform some sort of experiments on them and whatever. But, eventually you're going to get to this level where you
There's
get
definitely
that weird.
There's definitely a fine line there, like you're saying. Like, it's already kind of sick and sadistic that you're treating human beings as subhuman.
Right.
But then there's a fine line there, and it opens itself up, just like in other, like last season, it opens itself up like the Doctor to
Yes, good point.
experiment, if you will, or to let the psychotic out on these underrepresented, voiceless people.
Yeah.
You look like you want to say something.
I mean, we find out that the reason why she's torturing these poor men, and I don't know, maybe women. I didn't catch any ladies, but because she wants to ultimately stay young, and I think that that's also a storyline that's going to be thread throughout the season. She's putting the blood on her face because she wants to tighten her skin because her husband has a mistress, and she makes these. She takes the pancreas out of them to make something else to put on her face.
And time out, Kim Kardashian just had a very similar facial, I would like to point out. Just
It's
saying.
coming full circle, people. 1834 to 2013.
So this blood facial, is that what you're talking about?
It's a blood facial.
So essentially, we're saying that Madame Lalaurie was having a blood facial.
that she was giving herself a
She
blood
was
facial.
giving herself a blood facial. You know what? Just as a woman, a vain woman, I will say, I kind of understand if somebody said it would work. I mean, I don't know if I'd go so far as that, but if somebody handed me blood and said, put this on your face, it'll make you look young forever, I might do it.
But now look at what happened to her because she met her ultimate end, or so we thought, by taking a potion from a witch that came to her door.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's true. Our vanity will lead us down paths that we should never have gone down, which I think is a major storyline, as we will see revealed.
We will see that revealed. But, you know, it's society and men, there's so much pressure to look good, and I'm not above it. I'm just going to say that I might slaughter an animal. I wouldn't do that. I don't know why. I don't know where. That wasn't going to go
Anna,
anywhere good.
jeez.
I know. Anyway, it's like, you know, I have a milestone birthday coming up, so I just have like really been thinking about these sort of blood facials I might
She's having a
give
moment.
myself. I'm having a crisis.
Well, you can do
I
it and
think
let
is
us
what I'm
know
having.
how it works.
Okay, I will. Probably not on air, but yeah, maybe. So we're introduced to that, but we're not really sure. I think at first we're not really sure what it is that's going on, and so then we have this like time warp to present day, and we meet Zoe. Zoe's who we meet right away, right?
Zoe is who we meet, yes.
And
Her boyfriend at the time, Charlie.
poor Charlie.
Poor Charlie.
Charlie's kind of being a jerk, though, to be fair. He was like, it just sucks being somebody's first.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do it.
He didn't want to hurt her.
Why would, I mean, I don't think that's what he was saying.
I think she just wanted to get it over with, like a lot of 16, 17-year-old girls, that they don't know if they really want to be a virgin or not, which, if there's any 16-year-old girls listening right now, stay a virgin.
Look what happened. Look what happened to Charlie.
Yeah, you don't know.
You find out that
You
Zoe
find out
is
the hard way.
the Black Widow of witches and kills people with her vagina. I'm saying it, people. That's what
So-
she does.
So I'm glad you said that. The Black Widow, I guess, is what. That's her power?
She sleeps
She
with
has
people.
she has a genetic affliction that takes her all the way back to Salem, and literally her genetic affliction, not only is she a witch, but when she has sex with a man, she kills him in the most gruesome manner.
Their heads, like.
They just completely
I think
bleed
they
out.
bleed from the inside out.
Yes,
It's like
that's what it seems to be.
Their brain melts or whatever.
Everything. It looks
Everything's
like they liquefy from the inside out.
It's messy. It's really messy.
But that's also, I mean, Black Widow style.
Yeah.
and you know, she gets shipped off because her parents know that she's a witch and she can't handle it. So she gets shipped off to
To Miss Rubichaux's Academy. The Miss Rubichaux Academy for ladies.
where we meet a whole entire
Coven, if you will.
a coven of witches that all have different powers.
Yep. And we learn that the teacher, Cordelia Fox, we learn that she suffered the exact same fate as our dear Zoe, in the sense that her mother also kind of sent her off there because she couldn't deal with her as a young witch.
And Cordelia is the headmistress of this school,
She is.
this academy for ladies. And there are already 3 young witches there. We have Queenie.
Who I'm obsessed with, Gabourey Sidibe, precious.
Amazing.
Okay.
Who is a living, breathing voodoo doll.
Yes.
That's an amazing power.
That's an amazing power.
I know.
I wish I had that power. I think of all the powers I've seen tonight, I would like that power.
And also the comedic relief, I think. Out of all the witches, they all have their moments, but she is sassy.
She
She's
provides
serving it.
levity, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if she did cut her own throat, like how does that work?
Well, she doesn't feel any pain apparently.
But would she die? Like, is she still gonna bleed? Like, was she bleeding when she was forking her hand? You know what I mean? She didn't feel it. It was that I'm very curious about that in upcoming episodes, like how her power works. Because if she hurts herself, does it truly hurt herself or only the other person?
Or who is controlling her?
Ooh.
Could there be a person that if they stab themselves, she can die ultimately?
That gets deep.
Oh my God.
Ryan Murphy, what do you have for us?
He has so much. We don't even know.
Who else do we meet?
We have Nan.
Nan. I love Nan. She was in the first season of American Horror Story.
I know. She was kept in the closet.
I know.
She's a clairvoyant.
She is.
I feel like I can't look at her yet without thinking you're gonna die in there. That's all I can think of when I see her.
Like she's helpless?
No, because you remember in the season 1, episode 1?
Yeah. I mean, I think that she's a vital part in this in the sense that, she obviously can see things. So we find out that she sees Madame Lalore underground outside the house when they tour it.
I think Nan's an amazing character because I disagree. I really believe her. Like, I really believe that she's a different person as an actress. Like, I believe that she is Nan, but I love the vehicle because now, we have a clairvoyant. Suddenly, all this information that we would never know is known now.
Well, here's where I'm gonna disagree again. I feel like in the first American Horror Story, she knew a lot of information then. It wasn't the same because she wasn't clairvoyant, but she knew information about the house. She played with a lot of the ghosts. She would be able to sneak around and hear things without really being noticed. So to me, it's not like a completely different character yet. I'm sure that'll change as the season goes on.
There's definitely similarities there.
But yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
But at the same time, I mean, you could say that about any character. Like, Tate has been the beefy love interest, like, the whole time.
I thought that too. And the other thing that I thought was, in order for us to believe that these are different people, like, let's bleach their hair,
Yeah.
Well, they'll be blonde now.
Right.
Now they're totally different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. They did that with both Sarah Paulson and good old, what's his name?
Evan Peters.
Kyle Spencer. Yeah, thank you.
But Kyle Spencer.
Kyle Spencer
as we
is
know
his,
him.
yeah.
Kyle Spencer. We also got to meet Madison Montgomery,
We did, the movie star.
movie star, who has a bad attitude, but she's clearly covering up her insecurities.
Right.
She has quite a traumatic episode.
And she has like Carrie style powers. Like she can move things with her.
She's
her
telekinetic.
eyes. Yeah.
Yes. But my question is, why didn't she use those powers when she was it because she was on she'd been
Drugs, her
roofied?
brain. I mean, my understanding would be that she was impaired. Like, her brain was impaired. She was unconscious, and she has to be conscious to use her powers. She has to, like, focus on a thing to make it move. And if she can't focus at all, isn't conscious of what's happening around her, she wouldn't be able to do anything.
But then how was she able to recover so quickly?
I mean, roofies don't last forever.
Yeah, but that's also a question I had because she was in so much pain in the bed, and the way that Zoe left her, she was in a blanket, huddled, and it was like a very quick transition. Like maybe there's something where she can, turn it on or turn it off. Maybe she realized, and that's when the powers kicked in. I think that we're gonna find a little bit more out about that. Especially because we saw in some of the previews that, those two girls are going to be hanging together and sort of learning together. So I think we are going to find out more about her powers, obviously. But she snapped back real quick.
Really quick.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, just the fact that Kyle's dead. I mean, there's so much that has happened in that very tiny vignette. We're going to definitely be going back there and discovering the details. I just wanted to point out that I was counting, and throughout this episode, I counted at least 16 different scenes.
Oh, wow.
So the reason that we feel a little overwhelmed right now with the amount of characters, it wasn't even just, characters we were introduced to, but separate scenes, and almost all of them were different locations.
I want to say, in defense of that, Ray Donovan, which I don't know if either of you ladies watched this this past season, but the first episode was very much the same way. A lot of characters, a lot of information, a lot of scenes. It was a lot to take in, but one of the best new shows in a long time. Amazing show. So I have a lot of hope for this season. That, you know, episode 1, here are all the players. Here's the information. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I don't think it speaks ill of the show by any means. I mean, they've got a formula. It's the 3rd season. They're unpacking it all so that we don't have to deal with it the rest of the season. They can just develop character and storyline, and we can just know this is what's going on and move forward.
And for us, it might be a little bit confusing, but that's why we're here, and that's why you're here, so we can talk it out.
Break it all down.
Break it down.
I had a similar experience on Low Winter Sun, but I feel like they asked a little bit too much of the audience. They provided a lot of information on the very first episode, but instead of giving you all the information and then moving forward, they gave you some information and then almost moved backwards in a memento style, and it was very difficult to follow, and I think that it made it difficult for some audience members to stick with it.
Yeah.
So I think American Horror Story has a stick-with-itness. You know, people get hooked. So it's okay that, you know, it's a big dump of information. We're going to keep flashing back. And we'd love your opinion. Those of you at home that are listening, tweet us or comment on YouTube and let us know, what do you think? Was it too much in one episode, or
Are you confused too?
just enough?
Because I'm still processing. I took 4 pages of notes during this show. I know the ladies are with me on this, and there was just a lot.
There was a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Always tweet us. Always comment. YouTube, iTunes. We keep up with it. And this is, you know, AfterBuzz is a forum for fans to interact. So
Exactly.
talk
And
to
you
us,
know
talk
what?
to each other.
A way that the fans can keep us in this lovely studio is by checking out a movie that our executive producers, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, thrust out into the world. It is called The Adventures of Serial Buddies, and it is wonderful. It's Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. It's a serial killer comedy, which, guys, I don't think there's ever been anything like that.
There's nothing funnier.
No, Maria is in it. Kathy Lee Gifford is in it. The cast is stellar. Beth Bears from Two Broke Girls. I mean, you can buy it on iTunes. You can order it on Netflix, on DVD. It's everywhere. So go check it out. Adventures of Serial Buddies. $4.99, I believe, to rent. $5.99 to buy. Guys.
And most importantly, when you buy it and you watch it, or you rent it and you watch it, you're supporting us here at AfterBuzz TV.
Yay! Subscribe to our podcast, like us, give us 5 stars. Back to the action.
Back to
I feel like I'm a sportscaster. All right, let's get back into this.
That's it. That's what we're here to do. Okay, so I just want to take a quick glance over my notes here to make sure I haven't missed. Yeah, well, okay.
Let's talk about the frat party.
Well, not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Okay.
Let's make sure that we know that that Jessica Lange is playing Fiona, who is the Supreme,
Yes.
She is.
and that we're clear that Cordelia is her daughter.
And Cordelia has kind of denied. She's a royal blood denier.
Yes.
Because she explained to Zoe, I'm just like you. I'm a regular witch. I don't have, anything special about me. When we find out later in the episode that she actually does, and her mother, Fiona, wishes she would kind of own up to it and live up to her regal status.
Don't you hate when royals do that? They're like, I'm just like you. No, you're not.
You're not.
No, you're not.
Hate that. I can't tell you how many royals I've been hanging out with.
I'm sure.
That, yeah.
Guys, I've seen her Instagram. Like,
But
it's
you know
real.
what? Maybe that explains this whole vanity thing and her obsession with coming up with some magic sauce that's going to keep her. It reminds me so much of Death Becomes Her, one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, I was thinking that the whole time.
Right? It's like she's want the serum. She wants it to make everything lift up and be, wrinkle-free and beautiful. And clearly she has her methods to do that, but she needs something longer lasting.
Yes. So I'm also very curious to meet Fiona's husband, because apparently he's been funding this. Okay, I understand that he's died, but I would like to maybe see like a flashback of him or
backstory.
understand how he died.
Did she suck the life out of him?
Yeah.
Too?
maybe. Who knows?
Let's be real, that was nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But Jessica Lange looked fabulous.
She's
Love
incredible.
her.
I mean, there's
She
nothing.
did.
There's nothing she can't do, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, she's great.
But I'm sorry. Can I just mention that
Please.
she was saying, "We've done 5 days of injections," and is she snorting cocaine and dancing in her hotel room? Like, I was just kind of going, "Whoa, this is trippy."
Yeah, she's lighting a cigarette every like 3 minutes.
Yes, she's snorting something that hurts, and I thought was like, "Wow, this lady's wild."
Well, and that kind of thing ages you.
It totally. She hasn't gotten the memo yet about drugs and alcohol and smoking.
But she doesn't care because she's looking for the quick fix.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Aren't we all?
I see a morality tale building here.
And then we also we met Misty Day for like 2 minutes, played by Lily Rabe, who I love. And so Misty Day was she was burned at the stake, but kind of not in Salem times, but not quite present day.
I didn't. You guys, please illuminate that for me because I really didn't get it. Was that what? When was that considered Pentecostal?
okay.
I assumed it was Pentecostal modern day.
Fans correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
And I do think that it happened in modern day because in the episode they say a witch was burned at the stake not too far from here.
On the news.
Yeah, on the news.
And then
Oh, really?
Fiona
Okay.
mentions it and says, "A woman has just been burned. There's a war on witches. If witches don't fight back, we get burned."
Okay.
And so my understanding was that she was maybe in the country and she was accused of necromancy for bringing this bird back to life, therefore being from, the boondocks or whatever, where there might be less advanced or civilized or part of this religious affiliation. They burned her.
Well, there's a lot of like snake charming going on.
But that still goes
around.
on right now.
Yeah, no. I understand that, but I also was kind of, I guess, under the impression that if there's like snake charming, then if a bird is brought back to life, wouldn't it be like praise Jesus? Wouldn't that be a praise Jesus moment?
I am not an expert on snake charming.
Or Pentecostal,
Pentecostal
church
church.
revivals?
I did think that too because when she was doing it, it seemed like this lovely, wonderful thing. And it was
Right.
just that one woman that turned her chair around to see what she was doing. And that was sort of the thing that sparked it. So maybe it's something that's not allowed in their religion.
And like you
or-
were saying, she's considered to be, we think she's going to be a regular cast member.
Right.
So that means it's more of a wait and see. We're confused on purpose probably because they're going to reveal more.
Right. Yeah, because it was such a quick, yeah.
It was a very quick vignette. Just forgive us for being overwhelmed.
Yeah, we are taking in a lot here, folks. Okay, so let's talk about the frat party.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, please. What did you want to say?
Okay, so we find out, obviously, the main source of trouble, Montgomery. What is her last name?
I
Madison.
keep writing down MM.
Okay. Oh, MM.
Yeah.
Okay. So Madison gets a tweet that there's a frat party, and she decides to bring Zoe along with her because she's sort of buddied up with Zoe.
She's given her choices. That's her best friend now.
Do you have anything that's not from Gap? I was like, oh.
She's awful. She calls the butler Jeeves,
Yes,
even
she
though
does.
that's not his name.
Which also, I think he was a character on the first season of American Horror Story as well. The guy with the half-burned face. I caught that, people.
Good spot.
I caught that. So anyway, they get to this party, and in true movie star fashion, she walks in the door and sort of does what does the girl have to do? Get a drink around here? Obviously, somebody takes her to go get a drink, and look what happens. She gets roofied.
Yeah.
So
Dun,
sad.
dun, dun.
Cautionary tale, but kind of ripped from the headlines too, because there was that recent case where a bunch of boys, they were actually I think in high school, maybe they were in college, I don't remember, but they got one certain girl drunk and they did things to her without her consent because she was drunk. She was also passed out, but they took videos and they didn't all delete the videos. And so I felt like I saw that scene playing out and thinking this is ripped from the headlines because the only reason they were caught was because one broke under questioning and he had a video. And so when they get on the bus and they say we're all in this together and we're deleting the videos, I thought, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I saw a great episode of Law and Order SVU about that.
That was totally, yes. I'm
Was it
thinking
recent?
the same
Because
exact
it was
thing.
ripped from the headlines.
Yeah, ripped from the headlines.
Totally.
Yeah,
Olivia Benson.
Law and
Go
Order
ahead.
is like not even trying to.
They don't even try to pretend.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that show right now. Sorry.
Okay.
But yes, ladies, if you don't know already, when you go to a frat party, you always get your own drink. You pour it yourself. You hold on to it all night, and also don't go to frat parties.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you go to any party or even a bar, no matter where you go,
Yeah.
go get your own drink or go. If a guy offers to get you a drink, go with him and don't let him touch it. It sounds really paranoid, but you have to do it.
Better to be paranoid and sound paranoid than to be gang raped and have it filmed.
Totally.
Just
Just saying.
Just saying,
Tip
ladies.
for the night.
Yeah.
And that was our PSA.
Yeah.
So we find out.
You see what we do at AfterBuzz? I just want to say it's
We're
not only
helping.
we're helping America.
We're helping
Yeah,
America.
we're for the people.
Thank you,
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you.
For the people.
Steven, our producer.
So we kind of get to see Thaisa Farmiga's character and Evan Peters' character again, Violet and Tate. Anyone?
Oh my gosh, looking through the ice sculpture, which was probably the ice luge.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I loved that.
Was it?
I was hoping something was going to come out of it, but in my mind, they were looking at each other like, I know I've seen you before. Like I know you from from a past life.
He was mesmerized.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because she has that power over men. Maybe we don't know this yet.
Yeah.
But he was taken by her, and when they started to get to know each other, you know, I was excited.
Here's what I do not want to see. I do not want to see. I do not want to see that they're able to be together because he's not a real boy, that he's a pieced together boy and actually dead. I do not want to see another Violet and dead Tate love story. I don't want to see a rerun of that.
We will.
I really hope not.
I don't know.
This whole thing is turning into like a Frankenstein thing, though. No?
Well, we saw scenes from the next, but we should maybe wait
we'll
till
save that.
predictions.
Yeah.
We'll
talk
save
about
it.
Predictions I don't want to see.
So we find out that Zoe is frantically looking for her friend throughout this party. Kyle goes to help her. She's freaking out, and then Kyle finds the guys doing things to her in the bedroom, unfortunately.
He totally tries to save the day.
He does.
Tries to take the phone, chases after who are supposed to be his brothers, and they get on the bus.
They kick out the bus driver.
I know, I felt bad for that guy.
Yeah.
By the way, just so you know, when those sort of things happen, you've paid for the way there and the way back, so that was not really realistic. You'd be like, bus driver, you're going where I tell you to go, because I already paid you.
Oh wait, speaking of realistic, I was in a sorority
Yeah,
in college.
I was thinking.
That frat party was never a frat party that I went to. I was in a basement with dirty beer pong balls and red Solo cups, and that was it. I walked in and I was like, oh, this is glam.
Oh, not just that, but
Everyone's in polos.
I was
like,
picking up that these guys were Kappa Lambda, what is G?
Gamma.
Kappa Lambda Gamma. But then they put on the polo shirts of the guys they were impersonating at the party because it wasn't their frat party.
Yeah, see, I didn't catch that.
And I noticed that they were wearing the wrong polo. Like, that's not their KLG, whatever that is. So then it looked like they were wearing Kappa Alpha something else. So I'm like, oh, what? There's just a stack of 10 polo shirts at the door where everyone just puts one on?
But I think that might be smart of them. They're like, listen, we're going to go in, we're going to gang rape somebody. Should anybody catch us, we should be wearing another fraternity's shirt.
Do you think they have, like, stockpile in the back? They have...
Guys, I got this roofie. Yeah. I think this is what we should do this weekend. Are you down?
We should go get a bunch of polo shirts made with other fraternity. You know what? It makes sense because they're saying that they were going to get in trouble.
Yeah, because they
So
were already
in-
like on watch, and Tate. I'm sorry, not Tate.
Kyle.
Kyle was like, I'm going to sacrifice this one night of drinking for my brothers.
So maybe they planned it all. They got these shirts made up, and they're gonna go to this frat party so they can cause a ruckus, and it'll get blamed on someone else.
You know, if they're smart, they have polo shirts for every
Single fraternity. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a place that makes them around the corner for really cheap. You just have to order in bulk. I know this from when I was in college a long time ago.
Yeah, you could probably get them done individually. You could,
Yeah, just go to Oriana for any of your Greek life needs.
Hi.
So the guys end up getting on the bus because they're arguing and fighting. And then we talked about this before.
Right.
But we see the bus flip.
We see MM come running out as if nothing had happened, if she wasn't just laying there, you know, in horrible pain of being just violated and having this horrible violent act committed against her. And she runs in and just looks at the bus and flips it.
Yeah.
And then poof, it's on fire explosion.
Poof. Just like that.
Just like that.
And
What
she
a
just
witch.
walked away into the darkness. What a witch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
And then Zoe's like crying. She's like, I don't know what's happening here in my life now. What's going on? This is all so new to me.
Again, kind of though playing a little bit of the innocent, you know, her character.
But not quite.
Well, she's learning that she's not that innocent.
Because later
She goes to the hospital.
she goes to the hospital and she's like, please be him, be him. And it's not him, it's the guy who actually roofied.
The main rapist.
He was the main
He was the main rapist. He was the rape ringleader.
Yes.
And so he was the one who had roofied Madison, and she was like, oh, like anybody but you.
I will end you.
Yeah, and so she kind of like looked around, closed that hospital door, you know, gave him, you know, like an under the sheets handy, and
One final ride.
yeah, one.
If we may say.
I mean, I really think you're right. One final ride. I think it's a great way to go.
I don't know. It was her ride though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but didn't he like flicker his eye?
He was
His
up.
eyes flickered. And he think he was at first probably like woohoo,
Maybe
and then
they were flickering because they were filling with blood.
Yeah, because we
Maybe.
see a nice bloody pillow on the outshot. Boom.
Boom, he's dead.
Yeah.
So she embraces her powers by the end of the episode. So
Right.
might as well be used for good.
she's angry. So I think we'll have to see how the emotionality of these young girls affects what they do and how they can be controlled.
right. Yeah, like 16-year-old girls with super witchy powers. It's like, oh,
Danger Ranger.
Not the best combination.
Lord, we have a ride in store, ladies. I'm a little nervous.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Yeah. So then we also, Fiona comes and is just like, hey, Cordelia, I'm here and you're going to deal with it. And
Can you believe Cordelia's like, when are you going to die and leave me alone?
And then that like really upset Fiona because she was like, I don't know if that meant that she is never going to die, but she's going to keep aging, or if it was just so
Her mortality seems to be an issue for her, whether it's the aging or dying or something. She is very sensitive subject, clearly.
But they know how to press each other's buttons.
Fiona is like, I am the HWIC, head witch in charge. Do not mess with me. I will suck the life out of you.
And Fiona's like, you are doing a terrible job. This is garbage.
She made a joke about comparing the school to Hogwarts. You know,
Yes.
she's like, oh, like you're teaching them Hogwarts. Like they need to learn how to defend themselves because, like she said, you know, if witches don't defend themselves, they burn. So I think that she is going to teach these girls how to fiercely use their powers. And she's evil. Like
Yeah.
I think she's evil a little bit. So I don't think it's all going to be used for good.
Well, I think what we are learning is that maybe they're all a little bit evil, or they can be. And Cordelia has this maybe silly, you know, naive notion that she can teach them all to be good girls. And the Supreme is coming in and going, no, we're not good girls. We are who we are. We're witches.
Well, if I've learned anything from the craft, and I think I have, it's that witchcraft it's both good and bad. Just like in life, there's good and bad.
Absolutely.
It's just how you apply it.
But it does seem that Fiona has this drive to find the elixir of youth.
And she's getting closer because we see at the end of the episode that Kathy Bates' character breaks out of a coffin and she looks like we left her.
Okay, can you guys tell me? I don't understand. Why does she call her Mary Todd Lincoln?
Oh, just the way that she was dressed. It was the
Is
period
that
clothing.
it was a joke?
I think so.
When was Lincoln president?
I mean, I don't know if it was an accurate joke.
Oh my God, we're so bad at history. Okay, everyone, Google.
Leave it in the comments.
You guys, we watch TV and then we talk about it. That's our job.
Yeah.
So if you can help us with history, that'd be great.
But I was kind of like, why did she call her that? I wasn't picking up on the joke. I think I was so shocked that she.
Don't try to recover
Yeah,
right now.
okay.
It's
But we see that it's sort of, so her youth in this coffin is sort of almost, we're uncovering layers to Angela Bassett's character,
Right.
who is a witch doctor. And we know that her lover was one of the people that Madame Lalaurie tortured.
Yes,
So
his
that's
name was Bastien.
Bastien.
And he was the half man, half bull.
Yes. So the reason why she gave her this elixir that we thought killed her
Right.
was because she was seeking revenge. But I guess maybe the elixir was for
Everlasting.
for youth, because I don't know. She looks fabulous. We see her at the end.
Well, remember what they said about the potion was that it gave her, it was for revenge, and that it gave her what she deserved. So we didn't, that was from the tour. The tour guide said that. I don't know that it said, but her body was never found. So it didn't quite say that she was dead.
Right.
And our clairvoyant Nan knows where she is. But it was just bizarre to see her be dug up and that she was alive.
But I think we're gonna learn more and more, because it was certainly so in this episode, that these witches are going to learn to rely on each other, because we would have never found Madame Lalaurie without Nan's clairvoyance.
Right.
And Fiona needs Madame Lalaurie for her
To
secret
find
to
Marie
youth.
LeBeau, who is the secret to youth, or at least
Right.
we think is the secret to youth.
What's her name?
Marie LeBeau?
Marie LeBeau.
Who's Angela Bassett's character?
Is
yeah.
the voodoo.
Yes.
Right. So
Queen.
So one of them has the answer to youth. So, they are all kind of connected.
And like you were saying with good and evil, it's like, what are you willing to give up in order to gain something? And I think it's been a story over time, right? That, you sell your soul to the devil for something that you really want, but there's going to be a consequence. And so with these characters that are seeking vanity, seeking after things that reward their vanity, they're going to have to trade something. There's going to be violence. There's going to be pain and suffering, as we know. That was the end of my thought.
it was a good thought.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Anything else that we have to say about this?
I mean,
There's an alternate coven. I don't have any other note other than that.
Oh, I do. She was talking about Mary Juanita Toops and saying that she had established an alternate coven that was in public. Like they would meet in public and try to celebrate, but of course it was destroyed by Katrina, which gave the government an excuse to shut it down as a safety hazard.
Right.
And they were going to visit there, but I don't think they ever got there.
Right, because Nan got distracted. She heard somebody saying, "Help me."
Right. And that was where they ended up going. So we never even got to that point in the story. So that will probably come back up.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention something that I read in that article in Rolling Stone. Kathy Bates says, because, they're asking about spoilers, and he's like, she says Ryan Murphy would fire me.
Yeah.
Like, there's absolutely no such thing.
Yeah.
But she said what she loves about American Horror Story is that it's American. Like every one of these seasons, it relates some sort of American, either historical, kind of mythology or
History.
actual events
Yeah.
and make them into some kind of story. But it's distinctly American. And then we're looking at a different part of history this season,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun because now I want to go home and Google it and find out who this horrible woman was
Yeah.
that had this,
I'm like, yeah.
this attic full
Yeah,
of,
totally.
this deranged person.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I have some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Hey. So I was lucky enough to look over some footage from the American Horror Story red carpet in West Hollywood on Saturday. I got to see clips from Gabourey Sidibe. She revealed that there is not a definitive good witch or a bad witch. You will not know who is who, maybe ever. So that intrigues me a little bit after watching this. They also interviewed Evan Peters and asked him about his real-life girlfriend on set. He's dating Emma Roberts.
Shut up.
Yeah, so they got to share the set together and shoot a few scenes. And he was really happy to have her on set, but they asked if it was awkward to have love scenes in front of her, and he said it is, but she's a good sport about it. So that...
Yeah, spoiler.
Spoiler.
So we know that he's in the season and he has love scenes.
Spoiler
Well,
alert.
we knew that he was going to be
We
in,
knew,
yeah.
but you know...
Now we know he's going to
Confirmed.
Came from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the... that's what I got this week.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Bring
good.
it. Keep bringing it, sister.
Yeah. I don't have anything.
Do you have predictions?
I have predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well,
Tell us.
I mean, there's just so much. I already told you what I don't want to see,
Yes.
which is another love story between Zoe and a ghost. I predict there's actually going to be a lot, like a big clash of who's the baddest witch of all between Fiona and Delphine Lalaurie. And I think that's my only major prediction right now, because otherwise I'm just overwhelmed with information.
Okay.
Ladies?
I could predict a lot, because that preview that we saw for the season had a lot of blood and a lot of weird things going on. So I'm just going to stick to one. I remember seeing a photo of Fiona, Madame LeBeau, and Madame Lalaurie together, right? So
When did you see this photo?
I think I saw it on EW. Don't quote me, but I definitely saw it online when I was doing research for the show.
Okay.
And that sort of leads me to believe, unless it was a promotional shot, leads me to believe that maybe the three of them are going to ultimately band together to teach these girls, put aside their differences, and fight a greater evil. So that is my prediction. I don't know. What do you have, Oriana?
That sounds amazing. I think that Madame LeBeau.
LeBeau.
Okay, I think that Madame LeBeau is going to be very angry, as we saw in the preview, because the woman that she essentially put underground to live buried alive for eternity is now been dug up.
Whoops.
So I see that as being a major contention and causing a lot of problems. And I also predict that causing some problems within the school, because what is she going to do with this woman? She really looks like, you know, Lincoln's wife. Like, how do you hide this person? Is she going to just be walking around New Orleans? Like, I have all kinds of questions. Are they going to go try to find some pancreases to make a blood bath for their faces? I mean, girl time.
So many questions.
I have so my predictions are really based out of that character being dug up out of the ground and all of the mayhem that's going to cause inside the school and with some of those other characters that had put her there in the first place.
Good stuff, ladies. You know, guys, let us know your predictions, your thoughts all week long. Tweet at us. Where can we tweet at you?
You can find me at Jillian Leff on Twitter or at my website, jillianleff.com.
You can find me on Twitter at Miss Oriana Leo or on Instagram, Oriana Leo, and that's ORIANALEO.
And you can follow me at Koppel for Mayor, KOPPELFORMAYOR. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.